Hey everyone, my name is Drew. I'm the host of the Haute Garbage Podcast, Portland, Oregon's premier music discovery and interview show. Every week on the podcast, we interview artists and creators from every genre to understand how and why they make the incredible things they make. But this time, I am actually in the guest spot here in the home of Sypher Saturday with the amazing, talented, and recently award-winning MC, A Revolution.
Oh shucks! And
thank you for inviting me into your home here. This is a cool hang.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor.
Yeah, I feel like honored. I feel like I'm in rare air here in this space. So we're here to talk a lot about freestyling today and your recent triumphs. But I want to talk about this environment first because you do Sypher Saturdays in here, and so, you know, once a month or something like that, this room is full of like DJs and freestylers. What is the environment like this, like the wood paneling and this chill vibe? What does that do for a freestyler? Like, what is the environment? Does it make it more low key? Does it get people more hyped? How does the environment affect you as a freestyler?
I would say for me, it affects, and it's hard to say because I've been here so long.
Yeah.
But it affects me in a way that it now feels very at home. I mean, I see wooden walls, and it's like it puts me in a trance state of getting ready to freestyle. We also usually have lighting in here with SpectraVision.
Oh yeah.
So like the different colors of lighting, I think, is what really and how it reflects off the wood, and like I said, with the paneling and all that stuff, it really evokes like professionalism.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Because in my mind, I picture like the house party cypher where people are really packed in, and it can be like kind of sticky because people have spilled beers all over the floor. And there's something really cool about that vibe too. There's a lot of, you know, bouncing around that happens. But here, this feels like, let's pop our turtlenecks on, let's sip some wine.
Yeah.
And let's kick it freestyle. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. I don't feel like there's enough of that in freestyle rap.
I would say it's a nice change. Usually people hear Cypher and they come in to the studio, and obviously like it's a warehouse, so it's kind of like, all right, like where am I right now? And
yeah, you go through a little transition. You start in industrial and you kind of travel into this vibe.
It's a nice, it eases you into it in a way, but people still are never prepared. And sometimes they see it, and because I also have like camera set up, and it's just, I mean, there's like lights and all kinds of stuff going on. Some people feel intimidated. And also because it's live stream, they're like, oh, like this is going to be on the internet forever. Like, I don't want to get up there.
That's
so
it's making my skin crawl just thinking about it. Like having to do my live freestyle for the internet sounds horrifying.
Yeah. Okay. I agree.
What do you remember about the first time you freestyled?
I was awful at it, but it felt good to just let myself kind of just say whatever comes to mind.
Yeah.
You know, it's different from, I guess I'm used to freestyling talking. I know you're also good at freestyling conversations.
Yeah, this is all off the dome.
Yeah. This, and you're really good at it.
Thank you.
Doing it the first time, it's like, well, I was with a friend, you know, that's usually how it starts, right? You're hanging with a friend and you just start freestyling. It didn't feel nerve-wracking because, we were just in a car, you know, just smoking weed and freestyling. Yeah, the beats in the car. So it felt very relaxing. And then I thought, this is fun.
Yeah.
You know, this is really fun. It's something I want to continue doing. And that's just, kind of where it got.
It's so crazy to me because freestyling is one of the things, it's a craft that you basically have to eat shit in front of other people in order to get better at it. I mean, you can try it in your bedroom and you can like run through some scenarios and some stuff when no one's there. But in order to actually get good, you have to do it in front of other people with a live beat. And that is like so nerve-wracking. Yeah.
It's still nice though to be able to, when you get through it, like at the other end, it's like, all right, like I did that. I think I could do this again. And then it just repeats, you know.
That's cool. I'm glad you get that little boost at the end of it, because I think that would chase some people away. But as we will talk about, it didn't chase you away, because last month you were actually a winner at the Harry Mack Anomaly Cypher tour in Seattle. And so just to set the scene for everybody, the way that works is Harry Mack, legendary freestyle MC, someone that you've always admired, right? Someone who's like long time been kind of like a hero of yours in the freestyle world. Yeah,
I would say since I've started freestyling, but that would be about 4 years. So yeah.
And he does this thing where you submit a freestyle of yourself through like a video submission, And you were one of 3 people chosen to do the live performance with them in Seattle. And then the crowd selects the best freestyler to join him and, you know, trade bars with Harry live.
Yes.
And you were the winner.
Yes.
You were selected.
I was the champ. I was the winner.
And I have to say, there's people can see this in social media, but when you were introduced by Harry, he plays this video of you introducing yourself.
Yes.
And I was watching that video, and it brought tears to my eyes. It was like like goosebumps, and I was like welling up because it was just so cool to see you, you know, and you come out with your crutch because you you know, you Tiny Tim'd it out on the stage. Yeah. And I was just like, I was overwhelmed with emotion just watching this because it was so cool to see you hit this high spot. So how do you, in that situation, manage your own emotions, knowing the level you've attained?
Gee, I guess at the time, I just didn't even really think about it. Like, it's one of those moments you try to just be in the moment.
Yeah.
Except prior to, I was like in the future because all I could think about was the show. But maintaining my emotions was more of a acting like it's just another Sypher Saturdays.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I have been on stage before, but not with that many people before. And yeah, I don't know. It was a lot, but it was still calming in a way.
Yeah.
Because having the microphone in my hand in general just feels very like at home and relaxing. So.
Well, you mentioned before we were recording that you are not a big fan of show day, like the time leading up to the performance.
Yeah.
But like when I've seen you perform, you're always such a gamer. You're always like ready to go. So what does the day leading up to it feel like? What is that kind of that gut wrenching feeling?
Gosh, I mean, for an average show, it's not as bad,
Yeah.
but typically just nerves to where like my throat's kind of tightening up. I have to remind myself to like breathe, so on and so forth. I don't like to smoke or drink before a show or anything like that.
Yeah.
But for the Harry Mack show, the fact that I also had to drive to Seattle, on top of I wasn't sure at the time if I'd be able to drive. Like before I even entered the contest, like I was like, if I win, can I actually go because of the injury?
Oh yeah.
And thankfully, my friends Candid, Sam, and Sanko. Appreciate you guys. They drove me up there and, you know, got an Airbnb and everything and helped me out with that. But it was hard to eat. I couldn't eat the whole day. I had to force myself to eat, you know, good old chicken and rice.
This is so crazy. I'm getting nervous just thinking about it because it's like it was a packed house too. This was a big deal.
It was hundreds of people.
But it's also got to be something that I was told by a couple performers. Excitement is the same feeling as like nervousness and excitement, that your body responds to them in the same way. So a lot of people have taken that and be like, I do feel nervous, but that means I'm excited. So they make it into a positive. Are you able to kind of get a grip on it right before you go on stage, or like how do you handle that sense of nerves when you're about to do the thing you're going to do?
You know, it's funny. I think my body, because it gets so nervous the whole day, that by the time I'm like on stage, it's kind of like, all right, like, let's do this.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's just like an automated defense system my body has, but I would like to get a handle on it for sure. But before getting on stage, it's there's a lot of people, but you know, I like to visualize kind of when I'm freestyling. It's almost like I didn't see the crowd in a way, between that and the lights. So it wasn't as bad, I guess. And also, like I said, I have been on stage and it was nice having my crutch. I literally had something to lean on. Yeah. So,
have you been able to like take a moment to appreciate and celebrate that moment? Did you get to experience it in the moment and celebrate it while it was happening?
That's what I've been questioning, is like, I'm looking back, was I too, there's also a lot going on. I mean, they have a very strict schedule.
Right.
You know,
yeah. People are like yelling at you to do
like
this.
in and out kind of thing. And the fact of like, I met Harry Mack before, after the show. It was just, I don't think I was as in the moment as I could have been.
Yeah.
Outside of being on stage for the finalist portion, where they're doing the competition, because I prepared so much for that to where I could probably type an email and wrap that portion of it. So
you were ready.
I was ready. I was very ready for that part. I was ready.
Well, you did kill that part. That was dope. And then so then when you're up there with Harry and you're trading fours, basically, I felt like you ramped up. Like the first one, yeah, you're kind of getting your rhythm. By the second four, I thought you were hitting it hard. Like, how does it feel in that moment? How do you know? How do you gauge your own performance while it's happening? Because it's always going to be new every time you freestyle.
Yeah, you just say fuck it, throw it to the wind.
Yeah.
Really, it's just you're in it. And I mean, I knew it was going to be, they gave us a choice to choose between 4 bars or trading 16. Like you do 1 16 and then Harry does another 16. I would have excelled more freestyling in a 16 because it's hard for me to do 4 bars because I like to trail off at the end compared to a concise like stop point at 4 bars. So, but what better time to try something out than in front of hundreds of people, in front of your favorite freestyler. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a ramp up. It was I was nervous with the first one because the beat caught me off guard. So they actually showed us what beats we were going to use.
Oh, that's cool.
And they used a different one for the Harry Mack portion. So at first that caught me off guard. And then like just the catch up because I'm trying to listen to a freestyle, come up with things and trying to find a way to like bounce off of it in real time. So that was, it was interesting.
So as someone who does this yourself, what is so impressive about what he's doing? Like, what is the thing that he does that other freestylers aspire to or that separates him from other people in this craft?
God, how quickly he pulls out not just words, right? Because you're looking for a good rhyming word, but you're also looking for context, right? You're not just rhyming random things. His ability to make everything coherent and still be concise without using a whole lot of extra fallbacks and things like that.
Totally.
It's crazy. He just pulls it out of his head like it's nothing. I mean, I know it's years of practice, but
he does this amazing thing where, people like feed him lines or words and stuff like that. And instead of using it first, he will set it up with the rhyme before he drops the word. Yeah. And that is like, he's like baiting the hook. And it's really cool that like, you can kind of see it coming, but it's still like, you never know what that lead-in is going to be. I always think that's really cool when freestylers are able to do that well. Yes.
And that's a craft. Like, I tried doing a show with an audience where I was like, give me a word. Remembering the words that you were given.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, like, I know Harry Mack usually has it up on the screen and stuff, which it makes sense. That helps.
But I've seen him do, like, 6, like...
off the top.
In the middle of a crowd or something like that.
Yeah, dude. He's amazing. I mean, his memory, obviously, is it's something that you kind of need to have when freestyling. But, I actually forgot the question.
How did it go when you did your crowd work? When people were throwing you words? Were you...
Oh yeah. Like I forgot one of the words, but bringing it to when somebody gives you a word, you don't want to use it right away, right? Because that's kind of like the whole point of audience participation. But I've always freestyled with like homies or for the cypher, or there's no, gamble really. So yeah, it was harder because not only do you have to think of the rhyming words that you're already using at the time, but you also have to think about what's next and how do you make what you've already just said connect. And this is all happening while your mouth is running. So it's a crazy craft, and Harry Mack has damn near mastered it. So
it's really embarrassing, but I was trying to freestyle on the way over here today. And I was just like, man, it's fucking hard. It's so fucking hard. Oh yeah. But I could already tell that if I'd ever had to do it, I would totally cheat. Like I would be running, I would be setting up lines in the car on the way to the show. Yeah. I would be yeah.
Yeah, I feel like some people do that, and I can't for the life of me. For some reason, I start freestyling, I can't remember anything that I've.
It's because you've got integrity.
I think that's it too. Like, I don't want anybody to ever be like, that wasn't a freestyle, because I'd be like, you're right, you got me, But yeah, because I mean, I thought about having some stuff ready for the Harry Mack show, because I'm like, I don't want to like mess up, blah blah. And I thought I would, and then I got there and I was like, there's no way I'm doing that.
Can't do it.
There's no way. Like, as somebody who freestyles and somebody who represents freestyle community, particularly in Portland, Oregon, I'm like, yeah. And so I was a little disappointed in myself because I didn't practice like I know I should have. I spent a lot of time practicing on that 1 minute competition part, but not enough for actually freestyling. Yeah. Because I was like, freestyling is literally winging it, so why not? But obviously I could have practiced up to it, and so I kind of was a little disappointed. But either way, it was a joy, and it was a lot of fun.
I don't know. I think that you took the right approach because it's a huge moment, but that is the essence of what this art form is about. It's about a singular experience, something that only happens in that room that one time. Yeah. So I mean, just from my point of view, I think that is the whole purpose of doing what you do, is to have that singular experience. But I'm wondering now, what is the relationship for you between the freestyle skills that you develop and like the writing and the when you actually are crafting a song or an album? Like, is there a lot of transference between those two skills? Does it help you as a writer?
Yes, I would say so. Mostly because I've always written like probably from the age of 12 when I started doing poetry and spoken word, and then coming up from that, where like, I used to write short stories and things like that. So writing was always a strength for me.
Yeah.
And so coming into freestyling, it helped me not be so contained in a box. When you're writing, you kind of like see this like pattern of rhythms and rhymes and things like that. Compared to freestyling, I was able to break out of having that. So like, I like to say I freestyle like a guitar player, because I'm really all over the place. There's no set, pattern per se.
Yeah.
So when I write now, I will kind of freestyle just a little bit of what I'm thinking about. And then when I do write it down, make it more coherent to like whatever the beat is or something like that. But now I can't do one or the other I can do freestyling, obviously. But if I'm writing, then I no longer just write. Like, because I like to feel it out. I like to practice what kind of rhythm it is instead of just having it, written down like that.
Well, I would imagine like so much of the final product is how the relationship between the words and the beat. Like, I think people who are not musicians or not hip hop artists or anything like that, they hear a song and they don't think about the fact that it isn't words and music. It is both at the same time. Like, the finished product is the fusion of both of those things. And so I would think you'd have to experiment with the way words fit in different places and how you end a line or start a line or an emphasis, stuff like that. I would think it would be very restraining to have to write it all out and then that's all you get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So where are you at we were talking a little bit before the show, you're gearing up to move. We're losing you out here in the Pacific Northwest, sadly. But what do you foresee as kind of the future of your music writing career, albums, singles, that kind of thing?
Excuse me. I am not entirely. It's there. I'll never give up music by any means. I'll never give up music. I'll never give up freestyling. But as of right now, short term, music can't provide for me financially in the way that I need it to, and also really want it to, because I'm enjoying the IT life. So my goal is to focus on my career, which is IT, and expanding on that, like having a solid basis. Like, I enjoy where I am now, but I won't say I'm always looking for the next level, but I know what I can do and what's out there. And I move a lot. It's just kind of my thing. I really enjoy new connections and things. So music is still there. It's just, and even when I move, I want to take Sypher Saturdays with me. I really ideally would like to have it in every city I can. I want it to take over, replace the name Freestyle XXL or whatever it's called now, because they don't freestyle anymore. It's don't get me started. That's all I'm saying. But
this is the place. This is the place to start.
This is the place. So I do want it to continue and carry on. It's just a matter of figuring that out. And then after the whole tearing my ACL thing, I'm kind of in limbo of everything. So yeah, music will be there. It won't be more than another year or two, but I am kind of reeling back a little bit.
Yeah.
And so focusing on freestyling, because I don't have to prepare for that necessarily.
Yeah. And does that still give you the same like kind of emotional outlet that other kinds of creative acts do?
Music or freestyling?
Freestyling, like, like when we you'd been on the show previously and we talked about your poetry upbringing. And poetry, in my mind, is a very specific mode of emotional expression. And the reason people do a lot of different things creatively is to try to express themselves in different ways. So I guess my question is like, does freestyle scratch that itch of emotional expression in the way that some of these other art forms that you've dabbled in does?
I would say it does. When I do it.
Right.
Like at home, I don't really freestyle really. I have to, and it's kind of why I've like created a community, because I can like at any point in time, I could be like right now, call somebody and be like, somebody's going to come freestyle. That's just kind of the thing. So, yeah, trying to remember the question. I'm getting better at this.
No, you're doing great.
No, I actually forgot. I forgot the question.
We were talking about kind of emotional expression. I'm going to ask a different way, because this is like, this will be a clumsy question, but this is something I think about a lot. I have been going through this time in my life where I have been trying to experience my emotions more. Just like I'm very analytical, I'm very verbal, and there's always this filter between the things that I experience and my feelings about them. And I keep those very separate. And I feel like it's denied because I'm kind of an artist too. I want to live a more artistic life, but I don't feel the things that create better art, that push me to new places. Like, how do you break down walls within yourself and allow yourself to feel more things while you're freestyling? Like when all the lights are on and people are looking at you, like how do you let yourself just feel your emotions in that moment?
I will say it's hard for me to do that.
Yeah.
Because with freestyling, you might say something you don't want everybody to know. Like it might have been expressing yourself and emotionally, and then it's kind of like, whoa, like where did that come from?
You surprise yourself with your honesty.
Yeah. So it's a little different because I don't take the time to freestyle on my own to see what might come out without any filters or, you know, being in certain places. So for me, it's hard to answer that particularly. But it's still, when I do it, it still does create, allow me to scratch that itch per se. I do have a lot of like side quests, I guess. So I have a lot of back scratchers, I guess, to scratch that itch.
Cover the itch. That's nice.
Yeah. So, yeah.
That's cool. Are you still writing poetry?
Not really. No. I think I was like smoking weed one night and like sometime last month because, like I said, I've just been at home really. And I did a diss spoken word.
Oh, nice.
And I don't know. I was just. I don't know. It was just to see. Whatever.
Who are you dissing?
It wasn't even like a thing. It was just like the annoyances of the world. Michael Jordan.
If he heard that this day, he would come for you.
Yeah, you got 5 days to answer.
It's ball's in your court, Michael.
Ball's in your court.
Pardon the pun.
That's good. Yeah.
You were just dissing the world. You weren't dissing any one person.
I was dissing the small annoyances of life, like the small everyday
You were just bitching.
things.
You were just bitching about
I was
things.
bitching. Yeah, I was bitching.
Yeah.
Poetically, elegantly. I wish I had it here, you know. But other than that, no, I don't. I guess I consider the music portion of it poetry.
Yeah.
You know, even though I don't really write as much now. Like a lot of my music, because I haven't worked on a song in a while, so it's just these TikTok rap duets that I do, which ironically like helped me because they're all like usually a minute, like 30 seconds to a minute. It's helped me get up to the point where like the Harry Mack contest, it was a minute long. And actually, side note, when I heard the beat that they gave me and they said that you had a minute to like, you know, whatever you can prepare it beforehand, I actually started laughing because I was like, this is everything I prepared for. Like all I've been doing are 1 minute TikTok rap duets, like quick, you know, 2 hours max. So
when did they give you the beat as part of the contest? How much time do you have?
For the, I think we had maybe 6 days, 7 days.
Okay. So you
like
can
that.
sit with them. You can try some different things out.
Yeah, but I did it that night. I was like 2 hours done.
I like it. I like that procrastination doesn't change.
Yeah.
Us procrastinators, we're not breaking that habit.
We're not. Yeah.
If you put it off, you put it off.
Yeah.
Know?
So and I didn't want to put it off, so I like did it that night.
Oh, you were the opposite.
No,
I thought
yeah,
you
yeah.
meant like you did it like
No.
in the car up to Seattle. I thought you did the opposite. You
I
did
did
not
the opposite
procrastinate.
because if I wait a while for something and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be dope, I can't wait, and then I do wait, and then I'm on to the next new shiny thing.
Right.
So
first idea.
So yeah, I got
idea.
it. Yeah, first idea, best idea. So I went ahead and got it out the way. Also, because it was the reason I laughed is because like that was also the beat like that. I mean, you heard the thing.
Yeah.
Like it fit so well,
just right,
and
yeah.
I was just like, this was meant for me. Really.
Well, it's so crazy because it was like you really put your style all over it.
Yeah.
And I remember you saying when we talked last that you always wanted people to know that it was you. Like you didn't want to listen to a bunch of other people and sound and like just by accident sound like something else. And when I hear that freestyle, it's just like, yep, there it is. Like that's your shit.
I appreciate that. Yeah, it was fun. I had to put some stamps on there, some A-Rev stamps. Yeah.
Do you have when you think to yourself, do you have a clear sense of what who Arev is as an artist? Like, do you know what an Arev song is supposed to sound like?
Not at all.
No.
Not at all. There's just so many genres that I enjoy. Like, I have a pop song that I have out with Toxic. I have boom bap. I have a really kind of weird experimental one that's like it's called Spaced Out. That's just very ethereal kind of vibe. And then like the casual hip hop. And then I have a drill beat. But I guess overall, like through all of them is just my rhythm. I'm very big on rhythm because I feel like a lot of people get stuck in what they hear on a day-to-day basis where it's just this formula you have to do, like, 2 quarter notes on a 4-bar. I'm like, that's too simple. Like, let's see what we can do and play around with it while also making it coherent, like verbally, like with word choices and things like that.
Can I ask you a little technical question? I was talking with MC about this a couple weeks ago, but I'd be curious what you think. For me, I feel like a lot of artists right now are using like really spaced out beats where it's not like really tight snares. It's like a lot of emptiness. Like, and I feel like a lot of people rush to fill that space with their vocal. Like, if you get a real spaced out beat, how do you approach it? How do you like write your way into it so it feels right?
That's actually something more I've been experimenting with as I try to make more songs, and probably why I haven't recently. Usually if a beat is pretty spaced out and like kind of minimum as far as sound, I like to fill that space with my voice. So typically I used to really enjoy those kind of beats because it gave me free range to play around with.
You could
it
be
a
like
lot.
Twista. You could just
I could like something like that.
Yeah.
But I'm also like big on not doing just straight 16th notes, right? Like there's got to be a pattern instead of this. But if it's spaced out, usually I like to just flow all over the track, which is good for TikTok rap duets, those 1 minute whatever. But I'm realizing for a song, I need to find a way to make it coherent and last through the whole song, even after the hook. Because the first verse, I'm like, man, like that was fire. And then like I'm like, all right, well, like where do I go from here?
Why does it need to go? Why do you need to go someplace? What if a song is just like the hook twice and a dope verse?
I don't even do that. I have a song where there's no hook at all.
That's fine.
And then I have a song where most of my songs are pretty short. Let me say that. Yeah. And because I don't know, it's very straight to the point for me.
I think that's all you need.
Yeah.
I think this is just my opinion as a listener. People may disagree. I think a hip hop track doesn't need to be 4 minutes long.
Right. Yeah.
It needs to be let's get in, like it should be a concise idea. It should be this tight idea, and you get your words around an idea from a couple different angles, and then you're out.
Yeah. And unless like other than that, like leave it to the producer. If it is 4 minutes long, then there should be some, and this is
some changes,
opinions,
some
right?
Yeah, of course.
But there should be, but we're
right, but that doesn't mean they aren't opinions.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different than rock music, because like if I write a riff that I love, I just want to do it for like 8 minutes. You know what I mean? And I know nobody else wants that, but when I'm in that groove, I want that to happen all the time. But I think it's just different when you're an MC.
Yeah. You gotta get on it, get off of it at the right times.
Totally.
Yeah.
So I want to talk before we head out. I want to talk a little bit about goals, because we talked a little bit about what the future holds for you. I know right now you're in a place where freestyling is in the forefront. You're focusing on your career, and there isn't a lot of like planned music in the immediate future. But we know that'll change. That'll be cycles. You grow as an artist. But I'm thinking about, you get to this place where you are on stage with Harry Mack, and I'm not sure that was ever a specific goal you had before, but it is an achievement. And some people, they get to an achievement and then they've like checked a box and they look around and they don't have anything else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I've been reading this philosophy of middle age as I become an old man, like slowly. And they're always like, a lot of people fall on their face when they're like 45 because they've done some things and they don't have anything else and they got to the end of a line. So how do you use an experience like this as a springboard to your other goals instead of a box that you've checked?
Well, it did feel like kind of like a box that I checked. And simply because 3 years ago, I saw Harry Mack at a show, and this is after like a year of knowing who he is. I saw him at a show, and I actually have a video where he like walking at the start of a show, he walks through the crowd and like freestyles, and he saw me because I had messaged him before. I was like, hey man, you should come to Sypher Saturdays, because he's from Portland. So I'm like, this is like the best place for you to come through. So I had this shirt on.
Nice.
And he saw it and recognized the name and recognized me, and like Freestyle, dap me up, so on and so forth. And I was pretty drunk that night afterwards. And I messaged him. I was like, man, like, I'm going to meet you. I'm going to get on stage with you one day. Like, just, talking my shit. And he was very cool and nice about it. And so it's cool, like, 3 years later. Yeah, like, I did check that box. Not only did I check that box, like, I built a freestyle community, out of nothing, that when people hear freestyle, like, Sypher Saturdays comes up in Portland, you know? So in that box checking, it kind of was more like, yeah, I checked the box for getting on stage with Harry Mack and meeting him. I checked the box of building this freestyle community that was built up to prepare me inadvertently for the show.
Yeah.
But I also, like I said, I have so many other things to do that it's kind of like I could go off into other things. But as far as freestyling, like I said, I want to take over the word free. I want to start a whole campaign, like freestyling. I know freestyling is expressive words and blah, blah, blah. But like in 2025, if I ask you to freestyle, it better be off the top. So like my goal, off the top. My goal is to take over freestyling, really. And I've been working with so Harry Mack discontinued his Discord because he didn't want to be a part of it if he wasn't able to be active,
right? And
he's everywhere, so it didn't really matter. But the community went ahead and took over it. So the Harry Mack Community Cypher Circle Discord, and I partnered with them so that I could do more stuff than once a month, and at the very least it's online. So right now I'm doing a game show, a freestyle game show every other Saturday on the Discord. And so I'm doing things to like keep freestyle in the mix, so it doesn't get too far from me where I'd end up finding a new shiny object altogether. But
that's cool.
Working towards it.
Right on. Well, the next Sypher Saturday here in Portland is May 17th.
So
it's right around the corner. And how else can people follow all the things that you're up to, keep track of you, celebrate you?
Oh, well, here's my phone number. No.
Venmo you?
All of it. Yeah, well, I'll put all that information down in the information thing. But arevolutionmusic.com if you want to keep up with things that I'm doing musically. If you want to just keep up with whatever, A Revolution Music on Instagram. For the freestyle stuff, Sypher Saturdays is cyphersaturdays.com. It's spelled with an S because I enjoy alliteration. I know it's spelled CYPHER. I know. But cyphersaturdays.com. It's also on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I'm trying to grow the YouTube mostly. So, yeah, just be sure to follow those, subscribe, stay up to date. I don't post like crazy often. Maybe I should. I don't post crazy often, so you won't get blown up.
You post a tasteful amount, I would say.
Yeah. Hear that?
And people should know if they can't attend Sypher Saturdays in person, they can check out the live YouTube stream.
Yes.
So you can always participate, even if you aren't here in this beautiful studio to freestyle yourself.
Absolutely, and I'll throw that link in as well.
And I will say, Annette, again, this is just one person's opinion, but A Revolution Music as a website, one of the greatest artist websites out there. And you built it yourself.
I did, yeah.
Super useful.
Me and
highly
WordPress.
Useful website. So remember the internet, everybody.
Yeah.
Web pages are still out there. And this is a good one. Well, thank you again for this invite. This was so cool to hang out with you and catch up again. Congratulations on this amazing triumph and getting to share the stage with a legend and becoming a legend yourself.
Matt, I really appreciate it, and thanks for coming through. You're my favorite interviewer by far. Hot garbage.
That's touching. Thank you. If y'all like what you've heard and you want to hear more from A-Rev's favorite interviewer, you can follow Haute Garbage on Instagram. We're Haute Garbage over there because we don't want people to find us. You can subscribe to us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. It's HAUTE Garbage Podcast. We hope to hear from you and see from you again. Thank you again to A Revolution. Thanks for watching and listening. We'll see you next time.